Call the meeting to order, July 5th, City of Tig meeting, Board of Aldermen. This time, I'd like to announce that there is a quorum that's present. I'd like to do a roll call.
Place 1.
Here.
Place 2.
Present.
Place 3.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
Place 4.
Present.
Place 5.
Present.
Mayor, all aldermen are here.
Invocation will be led by Rhonda.
Stand, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day, Lord. We just pray that you help us and guide us as we make decisions for the city tonight, Lord. You know, we pray for rain. We desperately need rain, dear Heavenly Father. And we just ask that you watch over this community and keep them safe during this weather and during this dry time. I stand and pray.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome each and every one of you out to the City of Tig Council meeting here. At this time, do we have any visitors or citizens that would like to
No,
come?
sir.
To immediately get into the new business for the day. First of all, you'll notice 6A, it's going to be discussion and possible action on receiving and accepting the 2021 fiscal year audit. And we have received the audit from Don Aldermen, CPA. Y'all all had a chance to look at it, go over, kind of take a look at the details on it. Yep. Do we have any comments or questions?
We are on the discussion.
We're on discussion. This would be 6A. Yeah. Receiving and accepting the fiscal year audit. Do I hear a motion for acceptance?
Mayor, I make a motion that we accept the audit as written.
Thank you, Ron. Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded to accept the 2021 fiscal year audit from Don Aldermen, the CPA, for the City of Tig, working for us. All those in favor?
Yeah.
You can if you would like to.
He's here if you'd like to talk. I mean,
I'm sorry, Don.
you usually give such a great presentation.
We usually do a 5 or 10. I won't bore you with all 50 something pages, but yeah, we usually, I'll think about 5 minutes.
Go right ahead.
I look forward to this here.
Thank you. Well, I am Don Aldermen. Yeah. First, I would like to thank the mayor and city councilman for choosing my from the video. Appreciate it. And of course, I thank the staff here and everyone here. Wonderful work with. Really got to give big thanks to Teresa and Elise. We bother them by far the most, but they do a really great job. They're two of the smartest, my favorite people to work with. And this year, I think we're up to about 40 on. So they're up there at the very top. So give them big thanks for the efforts they do. Of course, they're with you. It's from page 5. Oh, 4. Look at page 4. Then there's the top, you see financial highlights. So these are the financial highlights for the city of Tig. Now, one quick question: is it Tig or Tig?
Depends what side of the Mason Dixon line.
Because I've heard both. Teresa usually says Tig. All right. So your first bullet point there reads: the city's total combined net position on government-wide financial statements for both the general fund and proprietary fund was $7,538,118. That's September 30, 2021. What does that mean in English? Combined net position is kind of net worth. So this will be the net worth for both the general fund and the water sewer fund. Now I get $7.5 million. So really good, financial year for Tig or T. We're 9/30. the year, the city reported net position increase to $1,217,736 in your government-wide financial statements. General fund had an increase of $301,105, and proprietary fund had an increase of $916,631. What's this mean in English? Net position increase, net income. So net income overall for both funds was $1.2 million, $900,000 net income in water sewer, $300,000 in third bullet point there, the city reported net position increase of $259,110 before transfer on the governmental fund basis. What's that mean? The governmental fund is kind of like a cash basis. It doesn't count depreciation. It also doesn't pay your home payments. So it's, it's kind of more of a cash flow basis, and on that basis of the county, you also were well in the black, $259,000. The only reason that's not quite as high as y'all did have some big fixed asset additions in the year, which will go over. Now let's turn on page 6. Here, City of Teague's net position. That's for audit, government audit for balance sheet. So this is the balance sheet for the City of Teague. 2021, 2020 side by side. Again, remember this is general fund and water sewer combined. Your cash and cash equivalents, basically that's just any and all bank accounts. So that's going to be all the bank accounts in the general fund and water sewer fund. $3,284,199, up from the $2,408,799. Very nice, about $800,000 increase there in cash and cash equivalents. Good. Investments, basically that's all the CDs. That's just all the CDs and money market type accounts that the City of Teague owns. $1,596,099, down slightly from the $1,639,000 the prior year. Your other receivables, now that's going to be your customer receivables for water and sewer and sanitation, and the water sewer fund and the general fund. That's going to be like property tax receivable, sales tax receivable, bonding fees, basically any and all accounts receivable. $411,874, down slightly from the $445,000 prior year. So I did have prepaid expense of $11,842, which is our prepaid insurance. Net position asset, that's a TMRS number, doesn't really affect the City of Teague too much. But asset's a good position to be in there though. That is your pension funding, $327,000 up from $215,000. So total current assets, $5,631,000 up from the $4,709,000, nice 20% increase overall. Your capital asset, the land, furniture, equipment, of course, that's also buildings, vehicles, the water and sewer system. Getting pretty big numbers there. $15,245,345, up from the $14,194,000. So you added just over $1 million in capital assets for the City of Teague last year. Accumulated depreciation, $10,834,000, up from $10,447,000. So depreciation is just under $400,000. So your total non-current assets, capital assets, net worth there, $4,411,000, up from $3,747,000. Total assets now for the City of Teague broke $10 million, $10,042,000, up from $8,457,000. Deferred outflows, again, that's a TMRS pension number, doesn't really affect the city directly, $17,061. Current liabilities, that's your accounts payable and accrued expenses, basically just any September bills that were paid in October, $116,263, up from $82,884. Your consumer deposits, that's just for your water and sewer services, $81,833, down from $85,930. 31, total current liabilities, $198,000, up from $168. Vacation and sick leave payable, $53,431. Your non-current liabilities, so that's the current portion of your loans and bonds payable, $149,000, that's from $109. Non-current liabilities, $1,488,924, up from $1,278,000. So total liabilities were $1,890,000, up from $1,610,000, $280,000 increase there. Deferred inflows, that's another pension number that employs the city directly. $581,000 down from 530, or up, I'm sorry, from 537. Your net position is kind of net worth. Your net investment capital assets, that's kind of like the blue book value of all the capital assets. So I have $2,897,128, up from $2,464,764. Restricted, that's just to make your debt service payments in the next fiscal year. $200,917, up from $156,141. Unrestricted, it's free and clear. Bond and grant people would like to see this because this shows the money y'all have at your discretion. And with a lot of times they recommend 3 months, you'll have a whole lot more than that. So it's the City of Teague is in a really good financial position as far as that goes. $4,490,000 up from $3,749,000. So the total in that position, $7.5 million up from $6.4 million in the prior. Going now to page 7. And this is the last one. I will not do the other 45. Charges for services in the general fund. So that's things like licenses, permits, fees. 139,900 down from 160,834. Slight decrease there. Charges for services this year, water and sewer income 1,761,000 down slightly from 1,929,000 there, slight 13% decrease. Property taxes were actually also down to 889,000 down from 1,152. Why the decrease there? Your debt service property taxes went way down, so I didn't have any debt service property taxes last year. That is just that's all operations and maintenance taxes y'all receive. Sales taxes also down just slightly, 568,000 down from 601. Franchise fees were up 315,000 up to 245. Grant income was up 735,000 up from 558. Interest income 43,000 down from 81. Other revenues 300,000 up from 170. So total revenues overall about 4,763,000 down from the 4,900,000. Very slight $137,000 decrease overall. Your general government expenses 563,000, way down from 855,400. So definitely did a good job of saving money there. Down almost 300,000 in the general government expenses. Public safety, that's the police and fire, 746,000 down from 805. So they're also down about 60,000 now. Highways and streets up just slightly, 228,000 up from 222. Culture and recreation parks expenses were up 214,000 up from 91. Library expenses 126,000 down slightly from 139. The EDC expenses 163,000 up from 150. Water and sewer 1,502,000 down from the 1,694. So the revenues were down, expenses were down there also. Total expenses 3,545,417. Down we're a little over 400,000 from the 3,958,643 in the prior year. Your increase or decrease in that position, it is an increase of $1,217,736, a little better than $941,000 in the prior year. And that's all for me as far as not any comments.
I have one question. So on that last page we just talked about, the grants and contributions.
Yes, sir.
On the right-hand column, it has 1,055.72%. That number can't be quite right.
Yeah, no,
There's actually in there.
yeah, something. It's not that. Formula
And on the first page, it says it's a draft, so that can be fixed and then correct. Before the official reports out.
He's looking at, we're actually looking at the.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, they have the draft, yeah, that's already been removed. Email. Send a Lisa copy today, so you see on there. Yeah, there's
Cool.
no draft no more.
Actually, just fix that one number. So I need to make a separate motion to make that change, or just go ahead
Just go.
and vote it out. No questions for me. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Any additional questions? If none, thank you, sir. Appreciate
There you
your.
go.
Your motion to accept.
We have a motion in a second, Mayor. We just need a vote.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. Now we have discussion and possible action on the TIG Economic Development Corporation 2019-2020 fiscal year audit and receiving an update on the 2021. EDC gonna bring this forward.
We y'all received the electronic copy of our 2019-2020 audit that is complete, and our 2020-2021 audit should be complete by hopefully the next city council meeting in August. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions?
That report's a little bit easier to read,
Yeah,
a little less involved.
we have a couple of less pages. Harder than 18,
I appreciate it.
including the cover.
And the 2021s. Did you say they're gonna be here shortly?
Yes, sir. He's hoping that they will be done by August, the next city council meeting in August.
Okay.
I would say September at the latest.
Any comments on the 2019-2020 at this time? Is there a motion for acceptance?
Make a motion to approve agenda item 6B is written.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded to accept 6B on the 2019-2020 TGDC fiscal year audit. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Motion carries. UK Nickelberry, I heard you back there. Was that a yes?
Yes.
All right, good deal. 6C, discussion and possible action on approving the upcoming budget workshop meeting dates. Suggested dates are the 20th and the 21st of July, which would be a Wednesday and a Thursday, and the 27th and the 28th, which would also be a Wednesday and a Thursday. Time frames, from 2 to 4 possible. If there's other times that need to be looked at, we can do that. We want to try to make it workable for everybody. We want to not have any more than 4 meetings, and that each meeting will not be over 2 hours. So then that way we can get in, do our work, be through, and hopefully be through by the end of the 3rd day. So this is July. July, yes. So it'd be July the 20th, 21st, Wednesday and Thursday, and then July the 27th, 28th, Wednesday and Thursday. There was a mention of 2 to 4, but I want to make sure that it would work with everybody if we can. It'd be good for you, Ryan. It's good for me. It's all right.
I think I do have a on the 20th.
You'll be out on the 20th. Will you be here on the 21st?
Yeah. Maybe that just one more time.
I got you. I got you. You think you can catch up with us? I bet so. Okay, as it stands right now, here a motion for acceptance on the July 21st and the 27th and 28th on Wednesday and Thursday, 2 to 4. 2 to 4.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make the motion that we approve the dates for the workshop meeting dates as being July 20th through 21st and 27th through 28th. 2 to 4.
Good deal. Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded for the dates as listed. July 20th, 21st, July 27th, 28th, time frame 2 to 4. All those in favor? Signify by saying aye.
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 There we go. All those opposed? None, the motion carries. 6D will be dealing in discussion possible action on improving ordinance 22-705 and ordinance amending ordinance 2192, the city's budget fiscal year 21-22. Now, for those of us y'all that are here, what we have is we've had to make it an emergency payment on 2 air conditioning systems, 2 5-ton units at the community center. And the 2 that are there are not repairable, so we got to have them installed. And so we've got to go in and amend and pull in that money to be able to pay out of that budget period. So y'all have any questions on that?
17,000 covered off.
That includes the crane too, to get the.
Wow.
He said that there's electrical that maybe has to be done, it may be an additional 500, but we have that in budget. So this
So
is
this is
just,
enough. For one of that. Is it done? Finished?
it'll be done next week.
So it hadn't started.
No, sir. We just called the mayor, and we went ahead and moved forward because it's rented out for events.
It'll be done in time for those events.
So we're letting those that haven't rented in between know, and if So we need to make appropriate accommodations. We are.
And this takes care of the senior center side also.
The senior center side is already taken care of.
And when they're doing that repair work, they're gonna also work on those bits, right?
Yes, we're gonna get them to see if they're going to put those next time they can.
Any other discussion? Hear a motion for acceptance?
Motion to approve agenda item 6D. As written.
Is there a second? Moved and seconded to acceptance of 6D. 6D, this will be for the two AC units going into the community center. We'll replace the two that are not repairable. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, ayes have it, motion carries. Moving over into old business, which will be discussion and possible action on appointing a TIG municipal judge. Is there any discussion on any of that at this time? Or are we just gonna table it, maybe
I
on
thought I had somebody. who did the commission, so
Okay.
I don't have anybody, so.
So anybody else have a name? Okay, we'll just go ahead and
Keep it as is for now.
keep it as is. Discussion and possible action on modifying current permitting and inspection requirements as prescribed by the City of Teague Code of Ordinances. First of all, we're going to have to rename the business permit, as you've seen, to business registration with no cost. That's one of the first things we're going to have to do. And then we're going to have to change the cost of off-site building to $25. Cost of off-site building to $25. And all fire and building inspections are to be left at the customer request and not city required. So as most of y'all know, that when we get into that aspect of some of the permits that we had to go through, contractor bureau Verifox. They were the ones that pretty much controlled what the cost of it was. Now we can still give them out as that name, as a usage of that, but that's really left up to the customer request wherever they want to go. So they can go where they want to go. But this is the name here. It's just a pass through. We don't want people to think that the city of Diggs making all that cash on.
We're currently not making anything. It's just a pass through as it is now too. So
And most of the requests that come in for these permits, for these inspections, they're going to be required coming in from other entities like financial lending institutions will require them. Sometimes insurance companies require them, so it's not like the city. And then at this point in time, it would be a customer request coming from them.
no, I have the notes right here that we kept up with. So I did not make that for everybody. These were just suggestions that it came in. Was that the business registration, change business permitting on the form you have from new business to business registration with no cost, which I think that's fair. I think we should do that. I would recommend that. And then on the off-site buildings, what those are, it's like the storage facility, like the pre-built buildings, anything that's pre-built, that's not a manufactured home. Let's back that up. So on the form you have, burn pit permits will stay the same. Everything stays the same on what's in your packet, excluding business permits, changing that to business registration at no cost. Off-site buildings would be just a $25 charge. Fire inspections and all construction inspections are customer requested, not city required. So what that's saying is I'll have to go in and amend ordinances, like we'll keep it suspended. I'll go and have to amend ordinances, bring it back where it says we require a permit currently. It would say that revert to if it's not a city requirement anymore, it's just a customer's preference and their request.
Now, if I remember correctly, we started doing this because it helped with our ISO rating for our homeowners inside the city limits, correct?
Okay, so how that affects is we've been doing these permits since 2075 is the dates I provided. We were audited in 2012 by ISO, then audited in 2017. We received a 5 for commercial, a 6 for residential, which is low for a city our size, which is a good rating. We were recently this year audited. We won't have those results for 6 or 8 months, but they said we made it. Our rating got better. So there's 2 parts of ISO, which is your insurance rating. The fire department has this rating on their protection, and then your building inspections and building codes and everything. How this will affect it, 100%, I can't say. The gentleman that did our inspections is no longer with the ISO anymore. They haven't made his replacement yet.
But by changing this, we could actually cost our homeowners money on their insurance policies.
There's a possibility, yes, sir.
Do you know how much it's going to cost?
No, I mean,
I guess that would be up to the individual carrier, insurance carrier.
We're not stopping anybody from getting an inspection. Not that we're not stopping me.
Yeah, I understand that.
We have a company, we're providing a company for them to do it. They can come here and they're welcome to do that. Or if they have a company out of Palestine, or have a company out of Waco, they'll do the same thing for cheaper, or it's quicker, or whatever it's their choice of what they have. But we do provide the service. That's where the
Big thing
the
on
service doesn't change.
the big thing on the ISO rating is going to be the top fire department. And we got fire department representatives that are with us. And let me tell you, we are the envy. We are the envy of communities within 60 miles of us. I wish I could say that was about Waco, but everybody else within our area, and I do mean our area, they are envious of City too. And the kind of fire equipment they've got, that's where your ISO rating is developed at. I know that because of being in 43 years of insurance. So if you've got a great fire department with great equipment, your ISO will go down. If you don't, it goes up. That's just the nature of it, the way it is. Because it's going to take them longer to get there. Their reaction service and their reaction time takes them longer if they don't have great equipment and a good volunteer fire department to get there too. So that's what it's all about. So any further discussion on this?
I do have one question here that I was looking at on this one, says new electrical licensing is $50. And it says, yeah, copy of license and insurance.
so that's if a new electrician, since we kind of talked about that, since we're a new electrician, we're coming here, we don't already have on file. So we can make sure that they're a licensed electrician since they're the ones, and we have an ordinance on that. Now, since we're not requiring inspections no more, that's just kind of a safety net that would be there, just make sure that we have licensed electricians in the city. And all the ones that we have working here now are already with us. So this is like if we have one that comes like out of the Dallas area or somebody that's coming out that we don't have on file.
So you're telling me I couldn't hire a Dallas electrician, bring him out here?
You could, but if we're not going to require your inspection, we'd at least like to make sure that he's a licensed electrician.
I don't see where it's your job to get into who I put in my home to work. Whether it be an electrician or a plumber or a builder, that's who I hire.
So it's really up to, that's why these are just, I gave you a list of mandated ordinances that require certain things. And then what tonight's agenda item, Mayor, if I'm correct, is to give me advice on what y'all want amended and brought back for change.
That's correct.
So everything that you want changed, I need in the motion, so I can bring it back for y'all to fix.
Did you want to change on that?
I don't see where, yeah, I don't see where there should, there needs to be a fee. for anyone to bring a license or an insurance in. And I'm just,
They'll,
Pay the fee.
so if they, we make sure the electrician, when they come to us, that they're bonded and licensed. So they bring us their copy of their electrician license, and they bring us their insurance, just to make sure they're bonded and licensed. Some of it's been going on since 1965, November 9th, 1965.
65. Any thoughts on that? Guys, we all have electrical work done. We got electricians we use around here. But if I choose to go to Waco and get an electrician to come down here and I say he's licensed and I want to do my work, that's not saying any Joe Blow can go in there and do it, because that's not what people want. But any Joe Blow, they're not gonna come up here and find out whether they can come in the city of Teagan and go to work or not.
Any discussion regarding removing that section?
Can I make a comment? Or no?
Not normal. Any discussion?
I would hope anybody that came into my house to work on my electrical, whether it's a new or old home, would be licensed and bonded
Who would you call?
and know what they, I have to worry about that when it happens.
That's exactly right. You're gonna call that person. Not the city. You're gonna call that person. Doesn't mean that you're not, just because you get come up here to the city, doesn't mean you have to hire their electrician. You can hire any electrician.
But by taking this off, aren't you opening the door for those who are not bonded or not licensed? I don't know, I'm asking you.
Electrician. If you're gonna call this more. Bonded license been here for 4 years.
We might call Judge Smart.
Again, you've got a choice. You do not have to use the city's people. You have a choice of who you'd like to come on.
Do you have people call the city office and ask?
We do not make
Well,
recommendations.
electricians.
We do not make
But do
recommendations.
people call, I mean, people call me and say, who should I use for fixing my car? I can't do that either, but
if they
do you get those
call and-
calls?
If they call and say, do you have any licensed electricians that are registered with the city, we can say yes,
And do you get those calls?
yes.
I think there's all kinds of directions you can go on this, you know, if you're asking electricians or any other type of trade to come down here and register before you do any work, then you kind of get into the privacy of the person that wants to hire somebody, because they might want to hire somebody, they may not be listed down here as a party or a person that's a part of and registered and licensed to the city, but they're not licensed to us, they just are registered with us. So I think that the oversight on that is that people would look at that and go, well, I want to hire who I want to hire and when I want to hire them.
Kind of where I'm at.
And it do what?
That's kind of where I'm at.
Oh, okay. They want to hire them. I don't think I need to go to the city of Tig and ask them. I know these people, I've known them. They don't live here, but they live in Waco, but they're electricians there. So why do I need to go down there? I think that's where the discussion is on this. Because it's where we want to be able to make our own choices. We don't need the city to tell us, you got to do this or take this one, or this one. Not that the city is really making you do that, but when you got to have them to come down here and actually have them to register and get listed, that's what it kind of says.
How do you even enforce it?
Well, you probably couldn't, because, you know, who would know?
If I bring my electrician in here, he's gonna come from Waco, he's gonna pull in my driveway, he's gonna do my job. Then he's gonna go back to Waco. I'm not gonna bring him to the city to register or pay $50.
I
I'm
will
gonna pay
say,
him.
I will say though, was it 2 years ago, somebody was going around town calling it on
Yeah, on actually
Was it irrigation?
plumbers.
Was it plumbers? We had somebody, I mean, literally on this, you don't believe the people, the amount of complaints we get, because they're supposed
Again,
to,
where do those complaints?
they were prior to being on the board and requested.
I want to see the complaints.
And you're getting them every month. I made our list. We give them to you every month.
Every month.
But
Let's
that was
move,
my.
let's move back to the
Yeah, for
discussion.
the time and everything, I would just like to leave this on old business for now. And I would like to have a list brought of the changes proposed so I can look at them before we vote on.
So that's what I'm
So-
getting. I need a list of changes, like what y'all want to see.
Okay.
That's what this is, because then I have to make the changes and bring them back to you. A possible amended changes. So I need to know on this list what y'all want to change.
Okay, so we need to walk through them right quick.
Can we do it during the budget workshop?
Looking at,
How many are you expecting to change?
I don't know, she can have it ready.
I need to know.
New business goes to 0.
So right now, this is what has been expressed to me, Mayor, from aldermen that have provided me a list. They would like the name of business registration. The business permit to go away, just become a free registration. There was changing the fee for off-site buildings to be a lower cost of $25. And then the fire and all building permits, building inspections be customer requested, not city required. Those are the lists that I've been provided. This, and if you'd like me to add the electrical one on there, I can add that and just do it, and then they can take action on it at that meeting, which the amendment goes, is brought before.
Add it.
Add it. I'll just bring it, so Mayor, do you understand what the
I know.
proposed? I'll rewrite I'll make the amended ordinance, and then they can take action on it at that time.
Good.
Because it won't be changed at this time.
Yeah.
Are we good on that?
Yeah, but I don't want to vote on it until I see what the ISO ratings difference is gonna be. So that'll give me time to get a hold of somebody there too. By changing these.
We are trying our best, because there's one man that does Texas,
Sure.
and he retired.
It's okay. I'll vote on it when I see that too. So can you add that to your list of stuff when we bring it back for us to approve?
Okay, then we'll, at this time, we'll go ahead and move this to 7C.
We're gonna table it and take no
Yeah,
action.
we'll take no action. Just to 7C, discuss possible action on modifying the billings procedure and fees for commercial water, residential, and commercial sewer. And the proposals were in the packet with the new billing fees and the procedures that were attached to it. I might say that it's a extremely well thought out procedure. I know that Teresa worked on it many, many hours, looked at it really close. So based on what you saw and the fees as well as the procedures attached to it, y'all have any discussion at this time on that?
Last meeting, we did the calculator work, right? And all that.
Yes, so the original one that we proposed to y'all, we were losing too much money, so y'all, we X that up there.
Yeah.
So then we came up with like a usage basis and a fee associated with it. So we actually went down and we thought it out, and that's what you got in your possession.
And how much are we gonna be losing now? Are we
So
gaining?
So with the proposed one that we came up with, the mayor and I worked with, try to get as close as possible to what we are currently getting. You're estimated $1,900 a month, possibly being lost. And you really got to think those fees are probably coming from decreasing commercial fees down to residential fees.
From the high to the low.
Yeah, so when you take a commercial is paying a higher rate, when we decrease those down to what the residential pay, that's probably gonna sum up your $1,900 a month. But it comes out to $1,928.16 a month, which Ryan already got it for you a year, is $23,137.92. And I would, and these are estimated fees, these are estimates, you know, because sewer is based off water usage. So if you have a year that, like during COVID, we had more usage because people were home. And then you have that, and then you have droughts. Drought makes a huge, you know, usage in there, but also this is decreasing commercial rates down to residential rates. And that's gonna be part of this monthly decrease. So it's not that the billing procedures is costing the full $1,928.16. it's also part of that's decreasing that is making commercial the same as residential again.
And remind me, what brought this discussion up to begin with exactly? I don't remember what brought it about.
The mayor requested this to be on the agenda.
Brought it up. The water usage, especially on commercial, like for example, in offices and things, it's going to be the same water type of usage that you would use. Now, we're not talking about any large industry. It would be a completely different usage there because that capacity and volume would be much, much higher. Sure. So we're talking about accounts here in different applications, and that's kind of where we're at on that.
What is it, the last line says residential unit base?
So we have mobile home parks
Okay,
that have one,
so this is like multifamily?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means multifamily.
in by ordinance definition, it's unit based. But I got you, multi-family.
It said residential, so I associated it with the top figures,
So what we would
like
do,
your residential folks.
so we have some commercial property that is maybe like a strip mall that has 3 or 4 businesses in there. And that's not charging them for that. That would be, on the sewer would be really just residential because that's what puts the strain on the infrastructure. And not commercial, like, for example, on Highway 84, we have where next to Dad's place, that is a multi-commercial unit base. And not every facility, we would, if we did all unit based, I didn't take that out, it would be different. But multifamily, you get into a different definition. Unit based is how we have about ordinance.
So if we wanted to try this for 6 or 8 months, if we try it, we don't like it, we lose more than we think, we can change it.
We can always change it.
Yeah, change it back.
And because this is gonna be increasing some people's water bill or sewer charges, and it's gonna be, even though some of them is gonna be increased a little bit, we're changing, we do have to have we have to have 2 public hearings on this. Per tax, Texas Administrative Code requires 2 public hearings.
So do we know who this is gonna impact negatively?
So with how they're based on, you're gonna have some that may have to, so like your 2 to 4, if you look at that $30, some of those people may have to, some month they may pay a couple dollars more, and then some month they may save a couple dollars.
Yeah.
Just depends on, instead of it being charged by what you are actually your usage, as we have it currently, like whatever your actual usage by your meter, we broke it down by pennies. It was prorated, like by 1,000. Now you're gonna be in a category, and you're gonna be a set fee for a category. Excluding once you hit 16,000 gallons, and then we're gonna revert back to the 16,001 gallons or more, you're gonna revert back to the current billing procedures.
When do this go into effect?
We have to have public hearings. I'm hoping that, we kick it off all at the same time with the new budget or sooner, but we gotta have a couple public hearings and notices and all that. So if y'all voted in favor of this, it'd be, our next step would go for the public hearings and changing ordinances and then being able to put it into effect.
So the average family, husband, wife, 2 kids, it should be a debt zero.
Yes, they're gonna use either 30, normally 30 or $35. And with it, if it goes in favor, remember, you still have the public's input that they can come speak. So it's not like you're just saying I'm in favor of looking at this as an option. Now let's go to step 2 and hear the public's input.
Make the motion, we move on. to Step 2 of the process.
What happened?
Make that motion, we move on to step 2 of the process.
Is there a second?
So,
All those in favor of, this would be 7C, discuss proposals with the new billing fees and procedures. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
One nay. One nay.
Nickelberry, can you clarify your vote, please?
Aye. In favor.
In favor. Okay.
All right, motion carries. Move over to 7D, discussion and possible action regarding the city of Diggs. This is the fee schedule. Now, what we want to do on this one here, the fee and the costs, as we've discussed previously, be brought back to the next meeting to amend some ordinances. Is that correct, Teresa? And that's what we will need to do here to take for us at this time. So do I hear a motion to table it and bring back at the next meeting? Is there a second?
So this will have the updated
Yeah.
water sewer stuff we just talked about, as well as the other stuff.
So this next one, it won't be able to come back to the next, because we didn't make any forward action on there was no action to changing anything in the permitting and inspection one. So we technically will bring this back once we have amended fees. Right now, we have no definite amended fees.
Will be two.
So it's most of the time.
All those, okay. All those in favor? Any opposed? All right, we've taken that, bring it back along with the additional discussion on the permitting inspection. At this time, we're going to go into executive session. We want to thank everybody. If you'd like to stay around afterward, come on back in and we're more than happy to see what's going on, but we're moving into executive session. We'll be deliberating regarding some economic development negotiations on project 6-22.
Pickleberry sounds.
You say that much. Oh, we're back live, but so damn here.
The chief's not here until it didn't get flipped.
Well,
Y'all are lucky we're.
Oh,
still
come
right
on,
here.
Gil.
No, so we're in open session now.
Oh.
Please don't.
Oh, thank you.
It wasn't official. We got to start over.
Give the ring back.
Stop it.
Okay, we're back in open session now. We're into talking about project 6-22, project developed and presented by the Economic Development Corporation. Teresa, would you give us the details?
Yes, authorize the city administrator, city secretary to coordinate with city attorney in efforts and negotiation regarding project 6-22.
So moved.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded in regards to the project 6-22. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
One abstains.
You can do that. 40-1.
Motion carries, and Teresa, you'll handle all the details on.
Yes, sir.
All right, are there any announcements at this time? Any announcements?
No,
Okay.
we're good.
Are we good?
The
This
radio was
time,
good.
somebody, it was gonna bring to you the regular meeting, but somebody did complain because they don't think they should pay the reconnection fee when they're disconnected for non-payment. Yeah, they don't believe it was on disconnect day. It's a policy thing, really. But I mean, if they didn't pay the bill, they have to pay the reconnect fee to go, if we leave the office to go disconnected.
Oh, it was on disconnect day.
Yeah, because they.
It was a couple days after.
Oh, it was 2 days after.
It was 2 days after. We got already went out and cut it off.
She did, she followed, she sent it to me.
Any other comments? Any other announcements? Is there a motion?
You don't have to
to
make a
adjourn?
motion. You don't have to make a motion, you can just adjourn.
I don't want to do any other, but
Okay, great.
I would like to know if anything is done for our storm alert system. Where you at on that?
We are out for bids right now on that. Y'all all guys,
Nothing else is happening?
that's where we have to be right now.
Okay, I'm just asking.
And we'll be
We're just
testing
out for bid.
And we'll be trying to test it tomorrow, right? Okay.
Yeah.
How long is the bid process? How many? It has to be over so many days,
It
right?
closes on the 28th, I think.
Yeah.
Or no, it closes, it'll be coming back to y'all. It closes on the 28th. It'll come to y'all the August meeting.
And then we'll be able to approve whatever bids come in and we can. hopefully
Yes,
get us
and
some
I'm
new
trying to
system.
find the frequency right now because they need to know the radio frequency that our radio here at the city hall has. And I'm trying to figure out how to figure that out.
So
Are
you
y'all
don't know
still
if it
taking
works.
flights?
Don't work.
So we're
No,
gonna
this
test
is
it
just
tomorrow,
my
but I'm
mind.
still not
You
gonna
can
be
give
able
it
to
to me
get
or
it.
our next meeting.
I just thought of
I
one.
said you're gonna test it tomorrow, but I'm still not gonna be able to hear it because there's been no adjustments or anything since the last.
No, yeah, if you can't hear from your house, I can't hear.
So that's part of.
But I get the phone call, so,
That's hot ready. That's not us.
well, I know, but they still want me
Yeah.
to go to the bathroom. I live in the
I got
bathtub.
one more question for you. I don't have Jacob here.
He got sick today, yeah.
Oh, but I have a water leak in front of my house.
That one that we talked about?
It's developing into a swimming pool and a large hole.
Hey, let me tell you something. I hit it, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shnikes.
And people gonna.
Really?
Yeah,
It's
it's-
So I don't know how long it takes to get this stuff fixed, but that's 3 to 4 weeks on the main road that people are rolling down.
Dude, I hit it the other, it was night time too. It scared me to death.
I will get John on that first thing in the morning.
That's in
Has
city.
it been
I mean,
marked?
It's been
No.
marked, it's been marked for a week and a half, 2 weeks. So I don't know what's going
I will
on.
get John on in the morning. John, I'll get it. Remind John.
Send yourself an email, send yourself a reminder. Put a post-it note on your
That was on a
computer.
highly
She got me
covered road,
right here.
and then Terry Road.
It's only us two this week, so pray for us.
I got you. And I got one other one.
We're working on a
$40
conversion
night
project.
behind Ninth Street down. It's just steadily flooding that alleyway.
So I will tell you, Joey, the
I
employee
don't
that
know how long it takes to fix that.
and they should take a look. I will tell you that today, John Clifton, who works in our public works department, him and Hayden and Jacob are only operators left right now that we're still waiting on applications. John found where Joey had left a stack of water leaks in a pile of paperwork. And he was the one having the meeting every week and giving us updates that were not factual updates, I'm assuming. And so John is he just not talked to us like, but was coming through the office today. He was telling us today, he found that stack of them and he wants to put them on a tentative schedule. And so John has asked Jacob to be able to take responsibility over water leaks and schedule them out so that they're getting addressed and fixed. So we do have a staff member that has stepped up. and
Took
asked-
initiative, didn't he?
I did, I was
I
proud
I
of
like
her.
John. John's
I
a
like
very good
that.
worker.
That's nice.
He is very.
So you're
The
saying
guy-
Joey
the
said,
guy-
The guy that left,
He
as
left, he
he
left.
sat on them?
John said that he thinks that person checked out way before he checked out, before he left us.
But John, you call him and he'll do some, I mean, he'll stop what he's doing if he has to,
Didn't
to fix
Jacob
whatever he
do that?
needs to.
Well, we have a lead operator and Jacob has been trying to get him to, the lead operator, which was Joey, asked to be responsible for water leak. The problem's gone. And now we got that work employees that want to take initiative.
Problems though. Problems are still leaking. You just have to fix
The
it.
lack of fixing.
Yeah.
But we have an employee that's actually took some initiative and asked if he could get them all and get them straight. So I have confidence in him that these will be. And that's why I said we'll get with John first thing in the morning.
Got it right here.
Somebody's gonna bring you a bill, turn up the car.
We get those, we give them the insurance form.
To the ticket.
You heard what she said.
Yeah, I know.
Pick up your insurance.
Email, we just.
There goes the rates.
There you go.
What did you say tonight?
Any other announcements, Alderman? Chris, you got an announcement? Hello.
Chris?
He's asleep. Okay.
It takes them a couple seconds.
Yeah.
No, I'm here.
All right. You have an-
Hey, I do want to say, I want to thank the mayor and his wife and the city staff, the police department, city workers for the Juneteenth celebration and parade. And I appreciate all of it. It was all organized and looked pretty good. It was a pretty good day. So thank y'all for everything for the Juneteenth and that committee. I'm speaking on behalf of that committee as well.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate it. You do a lot of service for the city of Tig. A lot of people, they think the world of you, and thank you.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
If there's nothing else, we shall adjourn.
Hit it.
We're over. There we go.
It's officially official.
It is official.
Quick.